organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, our political coverage continues, this time with Bill Clinton making his appearances.
And we'll show you how you can get involved in learning the basics of a new language on campus.
And in sports, we have the full recap of the win against the Wildcats.
All this and more next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Austin Love.
And I'm Selena Carr. We are 2 days away from one of the most heated senatorial elections in history for the state of Iowa.
The results of Tuesday's election could possibly decide which party has control of the Senate. A Bruce Braley win could help the Senate remain Democratic. However, if Joni Ernst wins, the Senate could flip to become Republican dominant.
The race has been close, teetering between Braley and Ernst, but the latest poll shows Ernst has pulled ahead by 7 percentage points. Braley trails at 44%.
Because of its national significance, this race has become the most expensive non-presidential race ever in Iowa. TV ads alone have cost over $40 million.
Be sure to stick with us on Tuesday for live coverage of all the national and Johnson County election night results.
With the approaching Senate election this Tuesday, many big names have been campaigning in Iowa. Saturday night, former President Bill Clinton came to Waterloo for Bruce Braley and a barbecue. Greta Miley takes a closer look.
With only 3 more days until elections in one of the closest Senate races in history, Senate hopeful Bruce Braley fired up a crowd on Saturday night at Electric Park in Waterloo to go out and vote.
And I want Iowans to know that Bruce Braley is your friend and he's on your side when it comes to protecting Social Security and Medicare.
Retiring Senator Tom Harkin encouraged voters to make the final push. But the true excitement came with the appearance of former President Bill Clinton.
I don't understand, but I know when people come up with some difficulty and they are fortunate and they make it, they tend to have 2 different attitudes. One is, I'm the luckiest guy that ever took a breath of air, and I think I ought to help other people have the same chance. Bruce Braley. The other is, I made it, everybody else can too.
Clinton emphasized Braley's positive qualities through his point of raising minimum wage to give everyone a fair chance and growing the economy. He closed by encouraging Americans to be more powerful than television ads.
I think the people that pay for those ads are going to be Wednesday morning. I'll tell you one thing, they're not going to be in Iowa. They don't give a rip about you. If they lose, they'll be off back home with their tail between their legs. And if they win, they'll be in Washington trying to collect on their investments. I think you should collect on your investment. You've got a lot of investment, Bruce Braley, and you ought to make it the next senator. Thank you.
Reporting from Waterloo, Greta Miley, Daily Iowan TV.
Bill Clinton wasn't the only national politician in town. Senator Chuck Grassley was at Hamburg Inn Friday, stumping for Joni Ernst.
It's been over 20 years since the shooting that killed 6 people here on the UI campus. Tian Cleary was one of the women Gang Lou shot and killed on November 1st, 1991. The campus central walkway is named after her. Lou killed 4 others before turning the gun on himself. Since this incident, no shootings have occurred on campus, and systems like Hawk Alert have been put into place to enhance campus safety.
The University of Iowa College of Pharmacy will soon have a new home. The Iowa Board of Regents approved construction and the budget for the upgraded building at their last meeting in October. The new facility will be built where Quadrangle Hall currently is. The project will cost an estimated $96.3 million. Construction is planned to start in the spring of 2016.
Wanting to learn a new language? Forget Rosetta Stone. The UI is offering a new course to students and community members wanting to learn Chinese. Daily Iowan TV's Su Wen Wang checked out the class.
UI Confucius Institute starts new Chinese survival class. The survival Chinese class is an 8-week course made for tourists, exchange students, and anyone who wants to speak basic Chinese for functional purposes.
That means yes. And just want to learn some very basic pronunciation kinds of things, basic conversational phrases, just kind of things to break the ice when they're just visiting another country or getting to know someone from another country. Part of the idea with the class is to also introduce part of the culture. So introducing ideas about etiquette, cultural things to expect, either from visitors here or when they're going to visit there.
The class size will remain small, with around 10 students or fewer. When asking students' motivation for taking the class,
the reason I'm studying Chinese is we have a lot of grandparents who come in and they don't speak English very well, and we need to be able to communicate upon occasion.
And talking about the expectation at the end of the class.
To be able to communicate intelligently with the patrons that I need to talk to. And eventually maybe go back to China. I was in Hong Kong about 30 years ago, so would like to go back.
Confucius Institute will also hold calligraphy workshop in November. Be sure to check more information about it. Suan Wang, Data Iowan TV.
Students of all backgrounds are welcome to take the course. No previous Chinese knowledge is required.
Well, Selena, it keeps getting colder every day.
I know, I almost brought out my winter coat at the football game on Saturday, but I didn't have to.
Not looking forward to that winter weather. Daily Iowan TV's Katie Sextro is standing by in the weather studio. Katie, what does this first week of November look like?
The next couple days will be fairly warm, but it will cool down as the week goes on. Tomorrow morning will be around 45 with partly cloudy skies. In the afternoon, it will warm up to about 63. As we get closer to the evening hours, you'll want to have your umbrella handy because there is a good chance of rain. It should still be pretty warm though, with temps around 57. Tuesday and Wednesday look similar with temps in the upper 50s with partly cloudy skies. You may want to have a light jacket for the morning and evening hours as we'll see temps in the 40s. On Thursday, temperatures will stay in the mid-40s throughout the day with a chance of rain in the morning. Temps will drop down to the low 30s in the evening. Friday will bring clear sunny skies and cooler temps in the upper 30s and possible 40s. There's a look at this week's weather. Selena and Austin, back to you at the desk.
It's that time of year again when you'll notice the trees in downtown Iowa City, like UI students, are bundled up for the coming winter weather. Tree Huggers kicked off today. It's a program that uses yarn and creativity to decorate downtown. Over 100 local knitters get together to make tree sweaters to cover nearly 150 trees downtown. Once sweater weather is over, the knitted fabric will be donated to make blankets. This is the third year the program has been yarn bombing Iowa City, and the sweaters will be on display until March.
This weekend marked Family Weekend for the University of Iowa and the naming of a new Hawkeye Mom and Dad of the Year. Jim Hofflin and Lisa Dawson received the award. Both individuals were nominated by their children for their personal achievements as well as their outstanding performance as parents. Hofflin and Dawson were recognized during halftime on the football game on Saturday.
Former Iowa football standout Nate Kading, Rick Braun from the Des Moines Register, and chef Ben Smart held the first ever Hawkeye Tailgate Challenge this weekend. The judges visited different tailgates to see who had the best food, who had the best team spirit, and the best environment. The best tailgaters won a $500 Hy-Vee gift card to continue their tailgating traditions. And it has seemed like forever since Iowa football has been back at Kinnick.
I know, Austin, almost about a month. The Hawkeyes haven't seen Kinnick Stadium since about October 11th when they defeated the Indiana Hoosiers, but I think the team was ready to be back in front of some of the best football fans this weekend as they dominated Northwestern.
With that, we'll toss things over to Laura Belanda, standing by in the sports studio with a full recap on this weekend's matchup right after this.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined and now I make videos for the university. SJMC.
Thanks, guys, and you're exactly right. The Hawkeyes stomped the Northwestern Wildcats on the gridiron this weekend with a 48-7 victory at Kinnick. To give us the game highlights, I'll toss it over to football reporter Taylor Brooks.
It started to feel a lot like fall this past Saturday as the Iowa Hawkeyes were back at home against the Northwestern Wildcats. But the cold air didn't stop the spark of Kirk Ferentz and his team. Right from the get-go first quarter, Iowa starts out strong. Jonathan Parker returns the opening kickoff for 54 yards, setting the pace for what it seems to be for the rest of the game.
Same drive, a minute 45 into the game, senior running back Mark Wiseman starts out early, running 8 yards in for the touchdown, putting Iowa up 7-0. It's Iowa football in full swing early when the dynamic duo Rudock and Wiseman with the flea flicker. Rudock steps back, looking to throw down the field and finds sophomore Matt Vandenberg for the 43-yard completion. With the momentum building in Kinnick Stadium, another huge play emerges as Northwestern to punt with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Freshman Ben Neiman blocks the punt and returns it for the 1-yard touchdown for his first collegiate touchdown of his career. Hawkeyes up 24-0 at the end of the first quarter. Start of the second quarter, Northwestern gets their only points of the game with freshman Justin Jackson runs in for the 1-yard touchdown. With the extra point, it makes it 24-7 Iowa. Northwestern back with the ball midway through the second quarter. The Hawkeye defensive line making a statement when Louis Trinca-Passat comes up with the big sack with a loss of 10 yards for the Wildcats. The Hawkeyes don't let up as they finish the half 38-7. It was a quiet start to the second half until Northwestern tries to get some points on the board as they go for the 3rd and goal, but the Iowa defense is unstoppable as a group of Hawkeyes deny the run-in. Early in the fourth quarter, Marshall Kane puts in his second field goal of the game, putting the Hawkeyes up a dominating 41-7. With a big lead, some opportunities emerge as C.J. Beathard takes over the quarterback position. It's a rally for the 2 young players as sophomore C.J. Beathard and freshman Akram Wadley come up with a 17-play, 81-yard drive that gives Wadley his first touchdown of his career, putting the Hawks up a grueling 48-7. This will be the final score of the Big Ten matchup. It was obviously a huge turnaround for the Hawkeyes this weekend back at home, but what stood out the most was a fully completed game that included offense, defense, and special teams. Now with the 6th win under their belt, the team is now bowl eligible. For more on the offensive side of the game, I'll toss it over to Whitney Blakemore. Whitney?
Thanks, Taylor. The offense showed up to play today as the line did what they had to do for Wiseman to run in 3 touchdowns, 2 of which were in the first quarter alone. He ended up running over 100 yards, but he wasn't the only one, as a new Iowa running back has emerged. With Jordan Canzeri and LaShawn Daniels sidelined with injuries, Iowa needed a new running back to step up. And that man was redshirt freshman Akram Wadley. Wadley finished the game for the Hawkeyes rushing 106 yards on 15 carries, becoming the first Iowa 100-yard rusher in 10 games.
Great feeling. I've been having dreams about it. And when he told me to go in, I'm like, wow, it's crazy. And the fans is just ridiculous. They just unbelievable.
Wadley did most of the damage in the second half, getting his first touchdown as a Hawkeye. But senior Mark Wiseman set the tone.
If we're going to be any good, we have to run the ball effectively, and Mark gave us good juice there, especially in that first half, and then we were able to get him out in the second half, which is a good thing, and get Akram some carries. He hasn't really played very much, as you know, so it was a good benefit too.
While Wiseman and Wadley were the ones making the plays, it was Iowa's offensive line who dominated Northwestern's front 7 and paved the way for the ground game.
You know, we opened some holes for him, and he hit them hard and just kept going.
Those gaps made it a smooth ride for the running backs, as Wiseman even took it to the house, being basically untouched.
All the line, fullbacks, tight ends, receivers blocking downfield, that's really what it came down to, and made it easy out there for the running backs. A lot of room to run, and it's fun when we can do that, and decided to play Iowa football today.
In Iowa football, they played, as the unit amassed 483 total yards of offense. Whitney Blakemore, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks for that, ladies, and Iowa's passing game was on point as well, with Rudock, who completed 12 passes for 239 yards and 1 touchdown. But that'll do it for me here in the sports studio tonight. Tune in to tomorrow's show as we recap Hawkeye Hoops' 92-51 victory over Florida Northwood. Selena, Austin, back to you at the desk.
And before we go, we'd like to take a minute and congratulate the Daily Iowan on their success this weekend at the Associated Collegiate Press Award ceremony.
The Daily Iowan was placed as a finalist for the Pacemaker Award, as well as ranking 2nd in Best of Show and receiving many other awards in all categories.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
And watch again tomorrow, same time and channel. I'm Austin Love.
And I'm Selena Carr. Thanks for watching and have a great night.